So I've decided to do some recordings because I'm not well, and um, I don't know how much longer my body's gonna let me go on the way I've been going. Um, and so because of that, I want to be able to put my story out there. And I want to first say that I know that you can't see my full face, and that's for a reason. And, that's probably just for right now, and that, hopefully if I get into a better place, it'll be okay to share my identity later. Part of the reason is that because I am currently in graduate school working on my doctorate in psychology, and I think that it would be really bad for colleagues, faculty, and/or clients to um, know my story, and so um, that's one of the reasons why I can't do full disclosure. So, having that said, I wanted to just give a little bit tonight, and then I'm gonna try and upload at least once a week. And so, since it's National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, I've decided that this will be the week that I start. Uh, okay, so I have had anorexia for 23 years. Um, that's well over half of my life. It's actually 3/4 of my life. And although I have been in recovery before, I'm currently in a relapse that is pretty bad. And I've already died once and come really close a second time. So I think that this is definitely the worst I've been in a really long time. Probably even second worst ever. And I can't tell anybody about it because of the position I'm in as far as school. And so I'm kind of doing it alone. And I want to talk to people out there that have similar experiences because I think it's somewhat untold um, for a lot of people that struggle with eating disorders. There's this position that we're in um, to maintain an identity that uh, can't be too transparent. And so I think that probably has a lot to do with why there's such a high mortality rate, because asking for help often means forgoing other things that are really more important, or not more important, but as important, or um, that could basically ruin your life in the long run. Um, and so, what I mean by that is that as a student in graduate school, um, who supports myself completely with no support from my parents, um, I survive on student loans. And if I take a medical leave to take care of my illness, um, my student loans will go into repayment. And when I can't make the thousands of dollars of repayment because I am not working and I have no degree, um, it will adversely impact my credit rating, which will make me ineligible to get future student loans once I come out of treatment. And um, then I'll never be able to go back to school anyway. So I guess sometimes it's easier to just kind of wait it out and hope for the best, because the alternative seems much worse, to throw my whole future away over a couple of months in treatment. And um, that's not even guaranteed because I don't have insurance. So I guess my stories are going to be part of talking about the experience of trying to get through eating disorder recovery, and in my case, anorexia, um, on your own, and not being able to tell people that you need help when you know that you do, because the impact that that can have, and that people don't understand. And so they just say, well, being alive is more important and everything else comes secondary. But I don't think a lot of people understand that giving up your future for a couple of months of treatment for an illness that will probably come back is not necessarily an even trade. And um, when you've gone through an illness and you've died, uh, and come back to have that experience again, I think it loses the fear, or you lose the fear of, I guess, the severity. So currently, I was just dropped from treatment from my therapist, who I've been working with for a year and a half, because, well, she actually didn't drop me. I dropped her, um, primarily because I'm not getting better, and I don't think that it's fair or appropriate to ask her to continue working with me. Um, she wasn't a specialist in the first place, and uh, she did attempt to refer me a while ago, but I really got attached to her, and it was the first time that's ever happened for me, so it was really hard to let go. But I recognized that it was time, and I also worried that I would be a liability, that given my current condition, um, that God forbid something did happen to me or does happen to me and my health, while I'm in her care, I worried about the repercussions for her, and I really, really care about her a lot and don't want anything bad to happen. So I got some referrals to other people, and I did see a different doctor a couple times, but I just don't really feel motivated, I guess, to to keep going or to start over. And so I'm gonna try and go at my own for a while and hope that maybe less attention's better. I don't know. Um, Only time's gonna tell. And so in the meantime, I've taken care of all of the legal requirements in the event that I don't pull out of this relapse. And I know that lately my potassium and my um, what is it, um, I forget what it's called, the hypophosphatemia. So my phosphates and my potassiums have been off, and that's what caused my cardiac arrest the first time. So it's not new to me. I kind of can tell when they're low. And most of the times I'll try to go and get them replenished. But lately it's just not really seeming to happen because I'm really struggling to make myself eat. It seems like each day is worse. And so maybe it turns out that this journal is about my recovery, and maybe it's the story of my death. And I don't know, because I really do feel absolutely powerless at this point, and that circumstances out of my control, with my life in general, primarily my school, just leave me feeling absolutely overwhelmed and hopeless. And sometimes I guess the idea of fighting this disorder just feels like borrowed time, and that it's just a matter of time before it comes back. And what is it all in an effort for anyway? So, having that said, I have been in recovery before. I've been at really healthy and stable weight, and I was when I came to graduate school. And then circumstances happened at school that triggered a relapse, and it just seems like they compounded over and over again, and I don't feel like anybody ever hears me or listens. And I think the only thing that makes feeling unheard tolerable is the ability to numb the feelings. And the only way that I've been able to do that so far in my life has been to just emotionally shut down, which includes not being able to eat and fight against the feelings of sickness and discomfort that come when I do force myself. So, unfortunately, I recognize that it is what it is, and I'm not like suicidal or anything. I just don't feel hopeful anymore after being sick for so long. This relapse has lasted about a year, which is the longest time that I've ever been this low in weight. I lost a lot of weight really rapidly last year, around this time, and I haven't been able to get it back. And recently, there's been a lot more stressors that have made it a lot harder, and unfortunately, I don't have the buffer that I had last year. So, I guess what I'm saying is that I recognize the reality that I might not make it this time. And if my story ever gets seen by somebody else and it helps just one person to help and identify some of their experiences and redirect them from living like this, then I guess it's worth it. So, I'm going to try to keep each video under 15 minutes, and I'm pretty close to that now. So, I'm going to go for tonight, and I'll come back soon.